All right, so first thing what we're gonna do is sign in with to mySQL, and then we're going to create a database called BTMS. Next thing we're gonna do is use that database. Check in real quickly, we can see that there are no tables in this database, so let's create all the tables that we want right now. Now we're gonna create 6 tables.
We have employees, job, salary, trips, expenses, and expense cost.
The reason we have so many tables is because we have this database in the third normal form. This eliminates duplicate record and ensures that all fields rely on the primary key.
We can now show the tables and see that all the tables are in the database. Using the describe statement, we can take a look at the trips table. From here, we notice that the return date is not a field, so we can add that into this table using the alter table statement. Running the describe statement again shows now that return date is part of the trips table. Next, we're going to load external data into all the tables so that we can run some SQL statements. After doing this, we can see that there are some warnings. Using the show warnings command, we can see what those errors are. The errors suggest that some data might be missing. This is only because I added an extra comma at the end of the field for ease of importation. Let's quickly import the rest of the data, and now we'll try and run a select statement to view all of the employees. Now let's add an employee named Nicole with the same job ID as Mike. Now using the select star from the employees database, we see Nicole has an entry in there. With the databases all populated, we can run other SQL commands. This select statement finds all employees with the first name Mike. Moving on to the trips database, say we want to see all the trips. Using the order by statement, we can sort by the departure date. Let's bump up the complexity. Using distinct, we'll find all unique values. Using the as statement, we can create a column name that will help us have our return data more readable. And the union statement will return the values of 2 select statements. The purpose of this statement would be to find all unique cities that have been traveled to or from. When we look at all the tuples in the trips database, we can see that our first return result is in fact the unique values from the departure city and the destination city. Let's say we want to view the salary information for all the employees. Because this database is in the third normal form, lots of that data has been split through multiple tables. Using this select statement, we select multiple columns from multiple tables. We are able to find all the related data through their keys. Through the relationships, we can see that the employees table, the job table, and the salary table are all linked and provide accurate information about each employee. Let's say we want to give the salesman a raise. Using the update statement, we can change the salary for salesman in the salary table. Now by rerunning the previous select statement, we can see we updated the salary for all salesmen without changing each individual tuple. Say we want to see all the expenses for an employee. We can use the sum function to calculate that. This particular select statement will do a sum of all the expenses and calculate the total cost of all those expenses based on relationships across multiple tables. We can assert this statement. Knowing Mike Michelson has an employee ID of 1, when we select all the data in the expenses table, we can see that the employee ID of 1 has a breakfast, a dinner, and 2 lunches. Looking at the expense cost table, when we add all that up, we can see that it equals $100. We can return data from 2 tables in many different ways. In this particular way, we're going to do it through an embedded select statement. We can use another function called count, and this will count all of the trips that each employee took. Once again, if we use the employee ID as the primary key and match it with the employee ID of the trips table, we can see that in fact the trip count is accurate. Each trip has a unique identifier. This unique identifier will help you know which trip is associated to which expense and employee. Another way to show related data is through the join statement. This particular statement is a left join. This will show all the employees and which unique trip identifiers were associated to each employee. Notice in this return data set, Nicole Nichols has a null value. This is because there are no entries in the trip database that are associated to her. Finally, if you enter drop databases, you will delete the entire database and all the tables and data associated with it. Probably not the best thing to do. Thanks for watching.